Since MobiCall is a very multifunctional alarming system, it also has the possibility to integrate IP cameras for receiving digital video streams or pictures from the camera. Before you start, make sure that cameras are licensed and also a license is available. When there is no license, contact NewVoice support if a license is needed. The license can be viewed by opening up the NewVoice information tool from desktop. Go to the license page to view all objects licensed for this MobiCall. Depending on the number of cameras can be used simultaneously on this system. As it is ensured that cameras can be used to this system, open up the NewVoice Setup Wizard from the desktop. In the now opened Setup Wizard, switch to the main alarm settings on the left side of the panel. Activate the third checkbox. Activate Multimedia support with camera configuration, to send images to multimedia recipients, followed by a click on Apply. Since the option Multimedia integration is active, a button Multimedia settings is available. Press this button to start with the IP cameras. Here can be found a general overview of all cameras connected to this system. If it is the first time active, the overview is empty. To add a new camera, press the button Add New. Select a camera model referring to your IP cam from the drop-down menu Camera Model. If the camera you want to integrate is not contained in the drop-down menu, it can be added by pressing the Edit Camera Models button. Here you are 3 available options. It can be chosen New, Edit or Delete camera models to the system. To define a new one, press the Add button. Give a name for the model, followed by the camera protocol type via drop-down. Maybe there is a default parameter which needs to be set for getting camera images. This can be entered by activating the checkbox Still Image in Sequence and enter the parameter to get images from this camera. Press OK when done. If you are done with editing the camera models, close the window Camera Models and select your model from the drop-down menu. When done, also select the camera type you are going to integrate from the second drop-down menu on the right side. First is to give the camera a name with the field name of camera. This name must be unique for every camera. Optional can be given a location of the camera. If there are big amounts of cameras integrated, it will be good for future to know on which locations the cameras can be found, by the first view. Define the IP address of the camera with the field camera IP address followed by the port number right beside. By default port 80 is given. Make sure to enter the correct port number. Some IP cameras needs an authentication to be accessed. If your camera requires an authentication, there is also a username and a password field. To give MobiCall the information which user login should be used on accessing the cameras. Create a new watchdog alarm first and define this watchdog alarm for the cameras with the drop-down menu Watchdog Alarm for Camera. This alarm will be launched when the connection to the camera should get lost. Right beside can be found the last time launched info, followed by some more informations about the connection to the camera like number of network errors, last connection to camera, etc. To reset this statistic, simply press the Reset Errors button. With the button Show Camera Log File can be viewed the log file from this camera. Depending on the functions you are going to use for this camera, you can activate the Image in Sequence option, the Streaming option or both, but keep in mind that on Vari-Alarm only one option can be used. If you only want to receive images, activate the checkbox Still Image in Sequence and start defining. First is to define how long the sequence should be which gets recorded. By a change to 0, MobiCall will only use a picture from the camera, not a sequence. With the option Interval of Sequence in seconds is defined in which distances the sequences are recorded. With Start Sequence of Images is defined how many seconds before the alarm did start. The sequence should be used for the alarm, to get a stream of what happened that the alarm is launched. With the parameter to get image from camera can be given a parameter to receive the image. If necessary, the parameter can be found in the manual of the camera. Also, an additional header can be given in the request with the field Additional Header for Request. If a camera stream should be received and used for alarming, activate the checkbox Streaming and define the duration of the stream in seconds. Define the parameter to get stream from the camera in the field below. If the camera is set up properly, press the OK button on the bottom. A pop-up window should appear which gives the information that the program NVIPcam.exe needs to be restarted for the changes to take effect. Press the OK button and open up the NewVoice tool monitor from desktop. Press System in the left top corner, followed by a click on Auto Start. Here can be found the new added program NVIPcam.exe, which should be with a red icon beside. Select and press the Start button to start. As the configuration window got closed now, the camera should be displayed in the overview and MobiCall should have already tried to access. This can be seen on the status field. If you get the status streaming, all is fine. If you get the status error, make sure the program NVIPcam.exe is started properly or contact NewVoice support for further help. To start using the new created IP camera, open an alarm where you want to use the camera image. In the alarm configuration there is now a new Settings tab, Multimedia, to define which camera should be used on this alarm. Select your camera from the drop-down menu and press the Add button right beside. As soon as pressed, a new window will pop up in which needs to be specified if you want to use the images for clients, like mobility clients and Windows PC clients, emails, or if you want to use your camera images for XML phones. Multiple selection can be made. Press OK when defined. By a click on the camera in the menu, is shown below how the camera is set up. To change the media types, press the button Media Types right beside. When finished defining the camera for this alarm, press the Set button right beside the camera. If you change to the Settings tab, Email Client or XML, you should have an attachment defined, the camera. If there are questions regarding multimedia integration, contact NewVoice support.